Know your zones in England. Bluetongue disease control zones. A disease control zone may be put in place when disease is confirmed to reduce potential spread of infection. A control zone could cover an area with a potential radius of up to 20 kilometres. In a control zone, movements of susceptible animals off the premises is not allowed unless it is licensed with either a specific or general licence. Movements of susceptible animals out of a control zone must have pre- and post-movement tests unless the move is licensed directly to a designated slaughterhouse or for welfare reasons. Bluetongue restricted zone. A restricted zone could cover an area from 50 kilometres to 150 kilometres depending on the disease situation. Movements of susceptible animals out of a restricted zone. Movements of susceptible animals out of a restricted zone must be licensed. A copy of this licence must accompany the susceptible animals moving. Movements of susceptible animals out of a restricted zone must have pre- and post-movement tests unless the move is licensed directly to a designated slaughterhouse or for welfare reasons. Movements of susceptible animals within a restricted zone. Within a restricted zone, susceptible animals can move freely into and within the restricted zone. Within a restricted zone, susceptible animals can move to a slaughterhouse that is in the restriction zone. It doesn't need to be a designated slaughterhouse. Within a restricted zone, susceptible animals can attend shows and gatherings, including markets, within the restricted zone. You must not move an animal within a zone if it shows clinical signs of bluetongue on the day of transport. When to apply for a specific licence. You must apply for a specific licence to move susceptible animals if your premises is under a bluetongue restriction notice. You must apply for a specific licence to move animals for all other animal movements, including moves to live to premises outside the restricted zone. Bluetongue protection and surveillance zones. Depending on the time of year and pattern and distribution of the disease, the restricted zone might be divided into a protection zone and a surveillance zone. Susceptible animals can move freely within the surveillance zone and into the protection zone and control zone. Susceptible animals can move freely into a surveillance zone or protection zone, but can only move out of a zone under licence and must have a pre- and post-movement test unless the move is licensed directly to a designated slaughterhouse or for welfare reasons. The size of the zones will be determined by the pattern and distribution of disease, the latest government scientific evidence and veterinary advice. Further information on bluetongue zones and licences visit gov.uk/bluetongue.